will see the Harmony MS architecture. We will go into the detail of the strategic level model components. We will see how to build and use multi-model templates. And the final part will be the real video of demonstration. To start with the demonstration, we are in the strategic level of the whole MS architecture. So in the first one, and within the strategic level, we will see the demographic forecasting model, the regional economy model, and the LUTI model. The three models that we will see are the demographic that simply make the projections of population and households. And this model fits the regional economy model for the population. And with the REM, we provide the future employment by economic sector. Both these models fit the land use transport interaction model. And here we provide workers' moves, workers' flows within residence and other activity centers. The DFM Lite is designed to require only few inputs and estimate evolution of population and households. And so the model is fitted by households and population values at base year and their future trends. The level of detail is the year, zone, age class. And additionally, to feed the LUTI, we provide aggregate results about school pupils and university students. To simulate a new scenario, we can directly change population and households' future trends. REM instead is coded to generate future employment by economic sector. We use 24 economic sectors, aggregation of two-digit NACA jobs sector, and the population is provided by the demographic model. Then we use micro and macro economic trends and other coefficients about calibration and intersector interaction. And of course, the job zone distribution to distribute the job on the study area. If we want to simulate a different scenario, we can change population, micro and macroeconomic trends, and the zone distribution can be indeed be changed to simulate interventions in specific urban areas. The last component that we will see is the LUTI model. LUTI generates flows of people in different daily activities. And with this model, we provide accessibility indicators of map that we will see in the video. The REM provides employment distribution, and the DFM provides the LUTI, the population at base year. Other inputs of the LUTI are the travel cost matrices, the attractivity factors, and the observed flows at base year used for calibration. To simulate a different scenario, we can directly change the job distribution and the travel cost matrices. Now we will go into the detail of the Harmony MS from a user perspective. So the first thing we see about the MS is the components. Every model that we developed is a component of the MS. So the DFM, the REM, the LUTI are all model components. When we upload the model components, we can combine different model components to build a template. The template is still a model. It's a multi-model, let's say, but it's still a model. And our template at strategic level will be DFM Lite, regional economy model, and LUTI. Once the model are created a template, also the planner could enter in the MS and create different projects. So if you choose a template, you can upload the reference scenario files and initialize the project. You can use the same template to create a different project. So let's say Turin, Athens, and Oxfordshire, for example. When we build the project, the default scenario will be automatically created with the first input files that we upload. And if we want to create different scenario, we can create we can use the same project with different input files. We will see in the video also this one. And of course, the different scenarios can be compared in the MS dashboard with the KPIs. To sum up the task, the component of the MS. The first, on the left, we have the modeler point of view, the components. So, for example, LUTI, REM, and DFM. The components can be combined in a template. With a template, we can create different projects. And here we have in the right side. We are in the right side, so the planner part, also modeler and planner part. With the different projects, we can upload different files and create different scenarios that we can compare to the dashboard. If we want, for example, add another model component, let's say the agent-based model, we can reuse some of the components already used and combine them into a different template. This different template can create different projects and different scenarios. Now, for the video demonstration today, we will use this structure. So we're using Turing project with DFM, REM, and LUTI. We will have a default scenario and a high scenario. The default scenario, that is the Turing use phase 1, is the land use development and new public transport infrastructure. That is described by new offices, hospital, and health research area in Turing. University extension, and transfer of one hospital. From the transport point of view, we can have the extension of Metro Line 1, a new metro line, and the extension of Metropolitan Rail. The projection year of this simulation is 2030. Compared to this default scenario, we will have the high scenario that is only for demonstration purposes, is not a real scenario. We have around 5% of increase both in population and in GDP from 2019 to 2030. Then we can move on the video. So this is the first page of the HarmonyMS. So here we just need to log in and enter in the real HarmonyMS. We will see the home page, new home page developed by the designers. We'll go into the components. So the first thing of the HarmonyMS, we can both create a component or upload a component. Now we will use the upload component function that we allow us to use a JSON file with the specifications of the component, the model components. So here with the JSON file, we are saying to the MS which are the inputs, which are the outputs, and so on. We upload it and we can view it in the MS. So we have a name and description, the list of the input files on the left, the list of the output files on the right, and at the bottom the structure of the model itself. So we can check all the input, all the outputs. In red we have the inputs, in green on the right we have the outputs. The same thing we can do with the REM, Regional Economy Model, with the JSON file of specifications. Here we have the same list of inputs and outputs. All the input files here are related to economic trends and so on. At the bottom we can see this structure. We have indeed macroeconomic trends, total population provided by the DFM, and total jobs, that is main output of the REM. So coming back to the components, we can switch on we can move to the templates, and here we can do the same thing. So create a template or upload a template. Now we use the create template function to to compose a template with DFM and REM. So here we can write the name, description. We use a template ID, and we can specify that a number of tasks. That is, tasks here are indeed the model components. So in the MS, the model components are called tasks. With two tasks, we can specify that the first one is the DFM, that is feeding the task 2. Then we add the task 2, that is the REM, and we have a generated input, that is the population. So we can add and say that the task 1 is feeding the task 2 for the total population. And then if we click on save, we can see the template structure with the two model components combined with a purple arrow that indicates that the total population by year of the DFM is feeding the REM. Okay, and yeah, we can check, of course, all the structure of the template. Now, coming back to the components, we can upload another component that is the LUTI, because we need also the sales component. Okay, and so this is a huge model component. We have 96 output files, 61 input files. So the visual representation is quite large, let's say, but we can drag and drop and navigate into them. Coming back to the home page, okay, we have now 3 model components: demographic, regional, economic, and LUTI. We can now upload a template because since there are more than one linkage between among the models, we can use a JSON file of specifications and be safer, since one of the modelers built it. And here we can so skip all the part of specifying with task 1, task 2, input, and so on, and go directly to the project. So we had 3 components, 1 template, and then we can create a project. We can select the template with the 3 model components, create a project. So here basically we are moving into the part that is also the planner can play, and so we have to specify the input files, and then the model became a model with input files, and we will create scenarios. We choose the input files of the DFM, which is the first model component. We select all the input files. Here the MS is able to recognize automatically the files if the file name is the same. Otherwise, you can click and specify manually. And then we can move on the second task or model component, that is the REM. One of the input is generated by the regional economy model. So we can browse for file, search the REM input files of the Turing project, select all but the total population by year that is provided by the first task. Same procedure. One of these files is not automatically recognized. We can specify it manually. We have to wait a bit for the upload. And then we have to do the same thing for the LUTI component. Here I will speed a bit the video because we have a lot of input files. So just say that we select all the input files, we delete, we not select the input files that are provided by the other component, that is employment, population, data school pupils, and data universities. And then we can exactly speed up the video. Sorry for the maybe confusing speed up video part. Okay. And then that we have all the input files, we can create a project. Now, creating the project, the default scenario is automatically created. So moving to the tab, the scenarios tab, we can see the default scenario, and we can make a start. Here, yes, there is a 16 per speed up in the video to save a little bit of time. And when the scenario is run, we can view it in the dashboard. Here we have the yearly job total that also he just showed. That is a REM KPI. The modeler the planner can select KPIs, can drag and drop, can, for example, here select, non-select economic sectors. We have a map from the LUTI side, that is jobs accessibility, other jobs accessibility from bus. We can also add another key performance indicator. Let's say the population change, we can add, and we can see that it will appear at the bottom of the page. And we are at the moment looking at one single scenario. Now we will come back to the project tab, in which we can add another scenario, so other input files. Now I cut this part because it's the same as before. We have to upload the input files. Obviously, they are quite different because we have the population increased, the GDP increased, and the zone distribution is quite changed. So we can create another scenario. We can move on the tab scenarios. Okay, sorry, to sum up, we have demographic light model, regional economy model, LUTI component for Turin. We built two templates. We use the second template with the DFM, REM, and LUTI. With this template, we created a project that is for about a Turin city. We created the default scenario and the high scenario. The default is already completed. The second one, where we can make the start. Okay, here is speed up. And then we can reopen, click on view, and reopen the dashboard. Okay, sorry. Okay, here we have on the left side the blue highlighted tab that is the project, and then the bottom, the default scenario and the high scenario. Here we can, oh, why is it not showing? Okay, we can select two scenarios, and sorry, the video is not showing well, but we select two scenarios, default and high scenarios, and we can compare it. Okay, in the high tab, we have selected the default scenarios and DFM and the LUTI Turin high scenario. So with two scenarios created, we can compare them to the KPIs and see how the policy scenarios will affect, will provide results in the city. Also here we can play with the KPIs. We can add drag and drop and so on. But since we have not so many time, I just show you this map about road accessibility, housing accessibility by road. And we can also use a bar chart for, let's say, for example, high-tech industry economic sector, that is a REM KPI, instead of the map that are provided from LUTI. And here we can see the comparison of the two scenarios, included full scenarios and you added the high scenario. And we can appreciate that the high-tech scenario, high-tech industry is a little bit more improved for what regards jobs in the high scenario. Here it is a work in progress, so we will indeed we will include the X and Y axis labels and so on. But this is what the dashboard can do. The last thing I want to show you is that we can also in this part, we can open the configuration tab and navigate into the structure of the model, drag and drop the model, zoom in, zoom out, see the connections, the purple arrow that we saw before with the 3 model components, and check that all the linkages we structured are indeed in the model suite of Harmony. So okay, we can see that inputs are generated, and this is all from my side. So please, if you have any questions, thank you.